Look, we're entering a new cycle of how money works, and it's the attention economy, where likes and followers actually equal money if done correctly. And if I was to say for you watching this video right now, think of an OnlyFans creator. You're probably going to think of some OnlyFans chick in a G-Wagon, probably with her Birkin, a little dog in there. Maybe she's in Monaco or Miami and so on, right? But wait. Well, all of these things cost a lot of money. Do you know how much a Birkin is? It's in the tens of thousands. A G-Wagon, Monaco, Miami, all these things are very, very expensive, which means that these OnlyFans creators are literally making millions of dollars every single month. And in this one video, I'm going to reveal the curtain and show you exactly what has taken me 5 years to learn whilst working with these OnlyFans creators on how you can get started and make money also without ever having to do hundreds of cold calls or send out tons of emails, learn about some complicated marketing strategies, and most importantly, never having to show your face in front of the camera. Now, for this specific video, I have actually created an entire presentation which we're going to be going through step by step. And look, this is not going to be like anything else that you've ever watched about e-commerce, trading, crypto, SMA. All of these business models, they simply just don't work anymore in 2025. There is a new way to make money which most people don't even know about. And sure, after you watch this entire video, you'll probably have a completely different perception of OFM, which is OnlyFans management. And also, you will most likely need to come back and watch this video multiple times as you start your own OFM. So like this video so you can save it and come back to it as many times. And also throughout this entire video, somewhere around the halfway mark, I will be going through our golden ratio, which is going to guarantee a client for you within your first month. You don't have to pay me for anything. I will literally show it in this one YouTube video, so make sure you pay attention. And to show that this is actually possible, this is one of my students, Fox. Now, Fox is just probably similar to you. He started with no prior experience, joined our licensing program, and within his first month was able to make $20,000. This is his screenshot from Inflow. He made $20,000. He made $2,600 from subscriptions, $15,500 from messages, and $1,800 from tips. All of this is going to be explained in this video, so please pay attention. And also, I have a YouTube interview with Fox on this exact channel, so you can check that out after this entire video, but please make sure you pay attention to this entire video. And first things first, you should ask yourself, what do you actually really want, right? Do you just want to get some quick money? And well, I'm telling you now, it's an easy way to crash and burn. There's no longevity in that. If you want to just quickly make a bit of money, this is not going to be it, right? Alternatively, if you want to start and scale a real business, and what do I mean? What's the difference? Well, you can make money fairly quickly with this, such as Fox as an example. In just 1 month, he was able to go from absolutely no business, no clients, to over $20,000 in earnings. So yes, that is quick results, but the difference is that this is sustainable and this is longevity. Like I said, I've been doing this for coming up to 5 years now. I started at back end of 2020, and still in 2025 I'm up and running, and I absolutely love this business model. It's allowed me to live life completely on my own terms, actually be recognized by some of the people that I look up to, and actually be able to live life on my own terms, travel wherever, do whatever I want. And also, for every single one of you guys that are watching this, in this 1 hour plus long tutorial, I will go through as many things as I humanly can in 1 hour. However, if you want more in-depth lessons on everything that I'm going to be covering, there is an entire free course that I'm giving in the link description. I've also been the first and the longest running person who's been teaching this stuff, because I'm one of the first people who's really pioneered this whole industry of OFM. And we're going to go into a bit of detail how I even found out about it, how I got into it, and so on. But anyway, if you want this free course, you can click the link down below. It's a free school community. You can check it out. There's loads of lessons in there that will teach you even more. But let's go into it. So first things first, your job as a manager, right? For most of you guys, you're probably completely brand new here and you don't even know what even is OFM and what is your role as a manager. Well, in very, very simple terms, your entire goal for this business is to bring in as many people to the OnlyFans creators page as possible and convert sales, right? So first of all, make sure that when someone lands on their page, they subscribe, they spend, and they stay. That's the 3 key pillars. And we're going to go into details exactly how can you do that even as a complete beginner. You will help her post TikToks, Reels, and tweets on X. However, whatever gets more eyeballs as possible. You find her a niche, test content ideas, run promos, and you do what it takes to drive traffic. And on the back end, you run a chatting team. So this is the amazing thing with this business model. You can very, very quickly hire people who can do the work for you. Essentially talent arbitrage, right? There's so many different terms being thrown around, etc. Look, fuck all that. Let's just keep it dead simple. You simply get a client who's already on OnlyFans. You help them get more eyeballs on social media, which is super simple, and I'll explain it in this video. And then you just simply hire a few people from places like South America, South Africa, etc., where the pay technically is a little bit lower, but to them, because of the currency exchange, they're very happy with that, and they simply do majority of the work for you. And again, we're going to go into all of that on this specific video. And also, why OnlyFans management? Well, first of all, at the very beginning of this video, I already gave you one example. Well, when you personally think of an OnlyFans creator, well, first of all, you can't go a day without hearing the word OnlyFans, right? There's always all these creators starting an OF, a new celebrity popping out, creating an OnlyFans account, and so on. So there's more and more creators than ever before. And also, again, at the example that I gave at the very beginning of this video, when you think of an OnlyFans creator, you're probably thinking of somebody who makes a load of money, has nice cars, lives in a big house, lives this luxury lifestyle, and all these things cost a fuck ton of money, right? So yeah, and this is a study based on 2024. You can do it yourself after this video. Go on Google and search how many OnlyFans creators are there in the world. And this is in 2024. There were 4.1 million active creators. And by the way, in other words, that is 4.1 million potential clients for you to work with. And in terms of competition, well, you watching this video again, I'm going to ask you, think, how many people do you know that are running an OFM? Probably not many, if any. So there's so many clients to work with, yet there isn't much competition. Now, who am I? Really quickly, I'm not going to bore you guys with my entire story, but just so you guys know who I am and I'm not chatting shit out of my ass, here's my quick background. My name is Markuss. I was born in Latvia, which is a small Eastern European country. This is literally the house that I grew up in. This is the condition that I grew up in. Yeah, we would just put wood in here, we'd heat up the stove, make some food, whatever. Yeah, we grew up in a pretty fucking horrible stage. When I was 10 years old, I migrated to the UK, hence why I sound perhaps like I'm from the UK, but I'm not. I lived in a council estate. This was literally our house. As you can see, pretty raggedy place. But this is my uniform, Jesus fucking Christ. Lived in a council estate, which for any of you guys who are watching this in America, is the equivalent of the hood or the projects. Yeah, not the nicest of places, put it that way, right? Didn't have too many opportunities, put it that way. I tried every job. I went, worked in a warehouse. I done door-to-door sales. I tried to work as an estate agent or a realtor for you guys in America, and none of it obviously worked. I tried a bunch of online different things. So I tried SMMA, I tried e-commerce, I tried dropshipping phone cases, I tried to sell them on Etsy. I tried content creation, I tried filming and editing videos, and look, all of it left me broke until I figured out how to make money with OnlyFans management. And this is where I learned a little bit about marketing, SMMA, social media marketing, and so on. But I really found a gap in the market when it came to managing OnlyFans creators. And bear in mind, this has been back in 2020. Really nobody was doing it at all. And still to this day, there is not really many people doing it. And with that, I was able to make more money than I could even humanly imagine. There's so much money. I'm going to be honest. I'm very, very grateful, but I happen to be in the right place at the right time. And now I'm simply sharing the lessons that I learned in the last 5 years. I've been able to retire my mother. Again, this is on my Instagram. You can see it. This is the exact card that I got her. I was able to get her a very nice house. So it went from a council estate to this is now her house. I've been able to buy a few fun things. So I own a Hurricane. I own a Ghost, a couple of cars, some nice watches like my RM, my Patek, and so on. But more importantly, I've been able to give back to people that I don't know and they don't know me. I have a charity in Latvia that I sponsor. I go there pretty much every single year, and it's fulfilling, and I'm able to help people more than just my initial family. And all of this to say is that, look, I am somebody who on paper should not be where I am at in life right now. I immigrated to a country. I couldn't speak that language. I dropped out of college. I got no degrees. I got no mentors. I had no money to invest. I had nothing to my name. but yet I still somehow made it. And it was all thanks to this business model. And even to this day, this was literally last month in April 2025, we're able to, with just one of my clients, and we have several, just one of my clients were able to generate $108,000. And in this business model, how it works, you take 50%. Again, I'll explain that as we go on why would a creator ever agree to 50%? Why would they ever give away that much? Little side note, when we took this creator on, she was making $8,000 a month. And in a few amount of months, in April last month, we've done 108,000. So this one client invoiced me, or I invoiced them for $50,000, and they're able to pay it, which is pretty cool. Anyway, let's go into this, right? So first things first is the actual setup. So when you're just starting out, this is everything you need to know. This needs to be done as quickly as possible. Most beginners don't take action quick enough, and they spend too long coming up with everything around the business rather than actually starting the business. The key for this business is to work at speed. And that's just a rule of thumb that I have in life in general. Think less, do more. There's too many of you guys who constantly think about things. Do you remember when fidget spinners were a massive trend? Well, back then, if you were to cook up a quick little website and find some fidget spinner in China and start shipping it, you probably would have made a load of money. Do you remember when everybody was talking about NFTs and crypto? Well, if you probably put a little bit of money in there, you probably would have made a lot. Well, this is kind of a similar situation. Look, how many times is opportunities going to come around and you're going to watch it, you're going to see, and it kind of makes sense, but you think about it. And then you think about it for a little bit too long, and then it's fucking gone. And it's another thing. And maybe this is one of the first videos that introduces you to OnlyFans management, or maybe you just found out about it and you've been researching about it for a little while. Well, hopefully this is the video that is going to make you go, okay, do you know what? Enough is enough. This all makes sense. There's so much proof. Let me just give this a shot. And again, if that's you, you can check out our free course in the link down below. There's more lessons on there that explain everything that I'm covering here in a bit more detail, okay? But when it comes to getting set up, here are your first steps, okay? First of all, obviously think of a business name. I'm not going to fucking explain how to think of a business name. Surely you have enough IQ to think of that. Next is create a simple logo. So once you got a name, you can either draw the logo yourself and then go on a website like Fiverr, and then you just get some Donnie from India to create it for like $10. Pretty fucking simple. All right, bro. Next, you want to register a company. So you can either register the company in your own country where you're watching this from, or this is what we do in our licensing program. We actually help you guys get a company set up in places like Hong Kong, which is a little bit more favorable for your tax. Again, when you're just a complete beginner, don't really focus on this too much. Don't overcomplicate it. Just keep the basics of the basics, because you need to get a client first, and then you can kind of focus on all these things, right? But obviously, eventually, this is super important. You don't want a tax man coming to knock on your door, right? Set up an Instagram page where you can actually do outreach from. So you can simply reach out from your personal Instagram. Granted, if you don't want to do that and you want to keep it low key, you can create an agency Instagram account as well, where you can send out messages from, and nobody even knows who this Instagram page is related to, right? Next, it is optional, but you can make a website. So again, you can go to a website like fiverr.com, and again, you can reach out to your trusty buddy from India to reach out and build a website for like what, $100, $150. Again, as a part of our licensing program, so this is our paid mentorship. There is something that we offer, but you don't need it. You can check out my free stuff, and then if you really want the in-depth, the exact copy and paste stuff that we use ourselves today, you can speak to us about that. But in our licensing program, we do give you 2 website templates, so you don't even really need to build anything. It's done for you. So think of it this way. What I'm about to show you here is the overview of everything, and there's a lot of practical stuff here. But our licensing program, which is the paid mentorship side of things, you literally get the exact scripts, the exact templates, the exact websites, everything that we use right now, you get to license back to you. All right, cool. And then the last thing, when it comes to actually your setup, is have a contract ready with a signing tool. So you can use a software like PandaDocs. And again, within our licensing program, we actually provide the contract that you and your model will sign once you sign a new creator. And look, when it comes to getting set up, that's pretty much it. And that's exactly what our student Robson had done. He set up his agency in a matter of days. Now, this is the key, in a matter of days. In loads of other business models like e-commerce and so on, you have to find a product, have to build a high converting website, then you have to create UGC content, then you have to split test it, then you have to create an ads account, and so on and so on. I can keep going on and on and on and on. This literally takes a matter of days, and that's what Robson done. And in his first month, he was able to make over $15,000. Robson is from the UK. He had no experience in OnlyFans management and joined my mentorship program and learned directly from me, and my team has now been able to replace his income from his 9 to 5 and has moved to Dubai, which is pretty cool. I actually have a YouTube video, which you guys can check out. This is the exact video right here, where Robson shares the story on how it went from $0 to $15,000 a month. And again, Robson isn't anything out of the ordinary. He simply just put in the work and listened to what I told him, and these are the results that I was able to achieve. So shout out to Robson. Cool. So we're kind of flying through it. So that's the setup, right? Let's go into real practical stuff now about how do you get clients. And before we talk about when you're getting clients, well, first things first is, what is the offer? And a lot of people have this completely mixed up. They think that the offer is just, what are you going to be charging your clients? My friend, that is not an offer. An offer is, what are you going to be providing for the clients, and what kind of results are you going to be able to generate for them? If you just say, I charge 50%, so does everybody. That doesn't really sound that appealing. And in this part of the training module, we're going to cover exactly that. All right. So the fundamentals of OFM: make your offer so good that they feel stupid saying no. Shout out to Alex Hormozi. If you guys don't know who he is, I'm sure you probably do. Check his stuff out. So what not to do is, you'll hear 50% of this and that, my agency takes 50%, blah, blah. This is not a real offer. It is instead a revenue split. There is no value to that, okay? Why offers get ignored? Well, people say that the OFM business model is saturated or this and that. Well, in reality, it is just the offer that is saturated. If you are offering, I'm just gonna take 50% and I'll just do the chatting. Well, so does everybody else, and you want to stand out. Now, in this video, I'm also going to show you guys how to stand out and so on, but it's really in the school community, which you guys can check out, which goes into a bit more detail about how you stand out. If you guys have never read the book Red Ocean, Blue Ocean, I believe, or Blue Ocean, Red Ocean, one of the two. It's a very, very interesting book, which mainly talks about how to kind of stand out from the masses, and this is kind of one of the ideas. Next, and again, by the way, since a lot of you guys are starting out, I don't want to confuse you with the offer and go into really in-depth too much about this stuff. So as I'm going through this entire long lesson, you guys will start to understand, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about, right? So what a real offer looks like. It explains what you do, how you get results, and why you're different from other agencies. It focuses on client outcomes, not just tasks, okay? The key about sales is you don't really want to sell on, I'm going to click this button, and then I will type this out, and then I will post this for you. Nobody really gives a fuck about that too much, right? What people really give a fuck about is, once you're working with me, your life can look like this, right? You can be enjoying your time here. You can have way more time on your hands because I'll be taking care of this. You'll make so much more money, so you're able to buy that thing that you really wanted, right? That's what people care about. So you have to sell to that, as opposed to, I will click this, I'll upload this many times, and I'll send out this many messages. You see how this one is a lot more tangible, and it's actually what a lot of people are looking for, right? Next one, how to build a winning offer. Understand the client, right? What are they struggling with? What results are they really after? Speak their language. When you describe their pain better than they can, they instantly trust you, and build your offer around their exact goals. So let me actually answer some of these for you for free in this YouTube video, right? So what are they struggling with? So this will also answer the question of, well, why should an OnlyFans creator ever give away 50%? That is insane. Like, for the average business, imagine you go into, I don't know, a car dealership and you say, hey, look, I'm going to do your Facebook ads for you, but I want 50% of your entire company. I mean, that's pretty insane. No one's going to say yes to that. But in this, it's completely different. Now, let me explain. Well, what do they struggle with? They struggle with two main things. Number one is gaining new fans over to their OnlyFans. And number two is actually having enough time in the day to do everything, to do the messages, do the editing, do the posting, and so on. And this is where you come in. With you on board with the creator ideally only has to create the content that you send to them, and that's pretty much it. Right? So in an ideal world, your team can do a bit of the editing, a bit of the posting, all the messages, and so on. Now, by the way, don't worry. I'm not saying that when you're starting out, you have to do everything for all of your clients. You know, you don't have to do all the editing, do all the posting, do all the messages. No. When you're starting out, you're going to start super simple, right? You're going to send your client a couple of ideas per day, and then she does the recording, she does the editing, and she does the uploads. You will do a few of the messages, and then once you've made your first couple $100, you will hire somebody to do the messages for you. So at this point, you're simply just talking to the client back and forth, telling them what kind of content to create, and then you're talking to the person who's replying to the messages, and all of a sudden, you're already making a bit of money here, and you're not really doing a whole load of effort. Sure, the first part is a bit of effort, but guess fucking what, my friend? Anything in life that is worthwhile having is going to be difficult to attain. That is what makes it worthwhile having. In order for you to actually get a six-pack, it's pretty difficult to get. But once you've got the six-pack, the chicks love it, right? But if it was easy to get a six-pack and everybody had it, then it would lose the value. That's why you want that Ferrari. That's why you want that Lamborghini, because it's hard to get. But once you get it, it's like, on to the next thing, right? So anyway, so what do they struggle with? They struggle with those two things. What results are they really after? Well, they want you to basically take a lot of the work off of their hands and to be actually able to enjoy their life and make more money. In very simple terms, they want to save time and make more money. And that's what your job is. And we're going to go over in today's lesson on exactly how to do that. Speak their language. This will simply come over time. Look, there's two ways to kind of improve on this, right? Either you do it by yourself and you fuck up, you make loads of mistakes, you do a call, you make a mistake, you learn from it. Do a call, you make a mistake, you learn from it. And you simply do that over and over and over, like I did for 5 years. And then eventually you almost become like a professional, I guess. Professional OnlyFans manager. That sounds crazy, but you get what I mean. You all of a sudden can speak their language. They understand you, you understand them. And all of a sudden, you come across like a professional. That's the first option. Or the second option, if you don't want to waste 5 years, it's quite a long time, my friend. If you just wanted to fast track and learn how to actually speak to clients the right way and be actually able to sign more clients than you know what to deal with, well, again, this is where you can join our licensing program, where we actually help you partner with clients. We give you website templates, we give you the contracts, we give you outreach templates and so on. So again, that's something for another time. Anyway, guys, in terms of offer, that's pretty much that. And when you put an offer together the way we teach in our mentorship program, you could end up like Frederick and his business partner, Joachim. They joined our mentorship program and also they didn't really have any experience, but the real thing is they were struggling on signing new clients due to their offer, right? We jumped on a Zoom call and I simply walked them through exactly how we have our own offer, exactly what we do within my own agency to this day. This was the call that we had. And you can literally see the very next day, you love to see it, new model signed, ready to scale. And this is literally the day after. I was like, wait, was this the one that we spoke about on the last call? If so, well done, congratulations. And he was like, yes, it was. So this is, again, the benefit of being inside of our licensing program. You get to speak to me on a Zoom call. You get to speak to me in real time, whatever you are struggling with. Imagine having me with 5 years experience in this business model by your side, actually answering your questions and helping you out. Okay, so obviously it's not free. There is an investment involved, but again, if you're just starting out and you don't have any money, you can join a school community. If you are interested in the licensing program, again, I can talk about that later on in this video. So make sure you pay attention. Anyway, so then from then on, Frederick and Joachim, they went ahead and signed another client. They started making $1.2 thousand in a day, by the way. So yeah, just so you guys know, this is in one day. $1.6 thousand and then $1.8 thousand again in one day. This is in a day, in 24 hours. So again, if you extrapolate that across the entire month, they're doing well over $60,000, which is absolutely amazing. So these guys have gone from absolutely zero to over $60,000 per month. This is a difference between something like crypto or Forex. Sure, maybe you get one lucky little win in those business models. I guess not really a business model, but a way to make money. With this, once you have it up and running, it is a massive snowball effect. Once you have the momentum up and running, you simply start to get more clients. These clients refer you to their friends, and then their friends refer to their friends. And all of a sudden you get more and more and more clients, and you start to compound the amount of money that you're actually making. All right? Cool. So with that being said, and also, by the way, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, and this is perhaps one of the longest videos that you've watched and you're still watching this, if I could just please ask one thing. If you just like this video, I'm kind of new to like these longer form videos. So if you like it and you're getting a lot of value, just leave a like and I can make more of these. It doesn't cost you any money. I know it's sometimes annoying hearing people, like the video, but it really does help a lot. So thank you so much if you do like the video. And also if you like it, it's going to help you as well, because more of my videos are going to pop up. You're going to learn a lot more for free. Why not? And you can make some money. Pretty cool. Okay, next thing, client acquisition, getting clients. So getting a client in the first place is the easy part. And I genuinely mean that. Getting clients is the easy part. And there is a golden rule, right? Remember what I said at the beginning of the video? Stay somewhere throughout this video around the middle. I will show you guys what we call the golden rule. And this is it. For 30 days, if you do 60 outreach messages a day, you can do 10 per hour, 6 times a day, so for 6 hours, and across 7 days, so in 1 week, that's 420 messages, and that's equivalent to 1,680 DMs per month. So if you just follow this number right here, so 60 a day, but 10 per hour, 6 times a day for 7 days a week. That equates to 1,680 messages. So do you honestly think out of 1,680 people in 1 month, you can't just sign one? Think about that. And all it is an Instagram message, which I'm about to show you here what to do and what not to do. And the crazy thing is that your first client, by the way, your first client can be somebody who's already making $5,000 a month on OnlyFans. You sign them on 50%, well, all of a sudden you are already making $2,500 a month. And your client is obviously making 2.5, and your job is to help them go to 10,000, then to 15, then to 20. And that's exactly what we've done ourselves with our client. All right. And again, just to show you that real quick, if I go back to right here, you guys can see for yourself. I mean, this screenshot only has 4 months right here. But as you can see, in February, we made just 37,500. So we made 50% of that. The very next month of March, we nearly doubled it. We made $52,000. And then a month after that, we did more than double it, which was 108,000. That's the whole point of you jumping on board with an OnlyFans creator. Every single month, you're making more and more and more and more money. Not only that, the creator has to do less and less and less work, because you're actively doing more for them, right? Imagine if you're making $108,000, you take 50% of that. If you're making, let's just say, an average $50,000 a month, do you not think you're going to use some of that money to hire people to do some of the work for you? Obviously, it's called a business, right? And that's exactly what we teach, okay? So going back into client acquisition, right? So that's the golden ratio. Now, how to do it, how not to do it. So first of all, where do you find these OF creators? Okay, so it's easy to find on X, aka Twitter. You simply go on X and you search the word OnlyFans on the search bar. You'll find thousands of accounts. Look at their profile, look at their X username, and then take their username on Twitter, go onto Instagram and copy and paste the same username. Typically, they have the same username on Twitter and Instagram, and that's how you found just one. That's one easy way to find them on Instagram, right? And then keep the first DM short and sweet. You simply want to pique their curiosity. So the first message that you send out, you absolutely do not want to copy and paste a massive paragraph and just spam everybody. You want to make sure that you keep the first DM short, but you want to make sure you pique their curiosity, okay? So talking about the first DM, never do big paragraphs. Put yourself in their shoes, right? If you get thousands of messages a day, are you really going to read a huge paragraph? You're absolutely fucking not. So don't actually send a massive paragraph. That's one of the biggest mistakes. And the next thing, starting out, just send DMs through your personal page. Again, you don't have to, but this is one of the easiest ways to get started. You don't have to create a massive page, on Instagram of your agency. And also, some of you guys might be like, well, okay, cool, Markuss, but I only have like 150 followers on my Instagram. I'm about to show you a result of one of our students in our licensing program who literally has 150 followers on Instagram, and he was able to sign his first client. I'll show you that in just a second. So here, next one, beginners will want to tell the model about all the things that they can provide for them just to make the sale. But this is the easiest way to fuck this up, right, in the DMs. So instead, focus on the problem that specific model has. So this could be the lack of posting reels, the wrong link in bio, something that you know that might be able to fix for them, right? Next one. Easy way to find other accounts on Instagram is the related tab. So once you have found at least one OF creator, you can go into their following, go into the people that like their photos, you can go into their comments, you can go into people that follow them, and just in general, from this one OnlyFans creator, you can find unlimited more OF creators because they typically follow each other, they like each other's photos, they comment on each other's photos. So it's a very easy way to kind of go down this rabbit hole and just keep finding more and more. And like I said, there's over 4 million active creators. Think about it. Out of 4 million active creators, you just need 2 of them, and those 2 just need to be making 10K a month each, and you take 50% of that, and all of a sudden you're making 5K from this creator, 5K from this creator, and you yourself are taking home 6 figures a year. It is honestly that simple. Out of 4 million active creators, you just need 2. Help them get to $10,000. I've just shown you one of my own clients doing 10 times that. So you need 1/10 of what one of my creators is doing. Pretty simple stuff, all right? Anyway, all of this is starting to make sense, hopefully, for a lot of you guys, right? So do 10 per hour for 6 hours. I already went over that. And also, if you guys want a free DM tracker, so when you're reaching out to these creators, you obviously want to keep a track of things, right? So what if one replies and you forget, and there's other ones that message you? Well, you want to go back and follow up with this lead. So if you want a tracker on how to keep a track of your followers, sorry, the girls that you're reaching out to, the leads, message me on Instagram. This is my Instagram handle right here, @Markuss Hussle. There's loads of fake accounts, so make sure it is spelled like this, MARKUSSHUSSLE. This is my one and only account. So make sure you message me here, the word outreach, okay? So I'm gonna know you come from this video and I can send you over the tracker. Okay, cool. Now, when it comes to results, right? This is, again, people from my own licensing program. Look, this is just the 12th of May. At the time of this recording, I believe it's like the 15th of May or 20th of May, something like this. We're halfway through May. But yeah, this is just recent. Just signed one of my first models. Fantastic. Joe. Carrie, she just signed one of her second clients as well, which is amazing. Fox, again, this is the student I mentioned at the very beginning. He signed another client, model number 3. Yeah, Frederick, again, signed another client with a new email outreach method, which is pretty cool. Rain signed 2 models in 2 days, which is absolutely awesome. Hugo signed a client. Again, Frederick signed another client. Rain signed another client. And then this is the guy that was on about. Signed our first model in less than a month with my 150 IG follower account. So this is a testament to people, if you do what we teach in our licensing program, if you just simply copy, because we've figured out, okay, how do you send the message so good that you have to get a response and then they're going to want to sign up with you because it piques their curiosity that much? Think about it. Over the last 5 years, I've truly mastered and figured out a way to send out DMs that pique people's curiosity. So if you're still watching this video throughout this length, trust me, I know a thing or two about marketing and grabbing people's attention and kind of making sure that, people actually take action on what I like them to do. So this is what I teach you guys. Very, very simple stuff. So again, if you're interested in a licensing program, again, I'll leave that towards the end of the video. But if you want it for like free stuff, you can check out the school in the description below. Now, let's move on. So now we've covered how to get started, the business model, the setup, how to put an offer together, and also client acquisition, okay? So by this point, you guys should have at least one client. Honestly, getting clients is super, super easy. Let's talk about onboarding, and then from then on, we're gonna go over the marketing and the chatting side of things, okay? So when it comes to onboarding, which is essentially the joining process, okay? So this is all about making sure you don't fuck up the next process, right? So set expectations on communication, content, payments, and trust. Make sure that the client sends everything you need, such as the info sheet, logins, and content. No promises, just a process. And let's go over what is the content plan, info sheets, and so on, okay? Now, in other terms as well, like, the onboarding is one of the most crucial parts because, for example, have you ever sent out an email to, let's just say, PayPal or your bank or any of these like corporate kind of setup, corporate businesses? Whenever you send them an email, they typically respond straight away with an automated email saying, hey, name, we've just received your email. We'll respond to you between 2 to 5 business working days, okay? That's typically something like this, right? Now, why do they do that? They do that to manage your expectations. In reality, they're probably going to respond tomorrow, right? But because they said, hey, we're probably going to respond between 2 to 5 business days, all of a sudden, if it's like the 4th day and they still haven't replied because maybe they're busy, whatever, maybe there was a shortage in IT or whatever happened, right? All of a sudden, even if it's the 4th day, you're not really that pissed off because you're like, okay, fine, whatever. The fucking email said maybe up to 5 days. Okay, they'll reply tomorrow. Now, if they didn't email this back to you, the automated email to say 2 to 4 or 5 business days, and it was the 2nd day and you still haven't got a response, you would have been like, fuck this business, it's so unprofessional, this is the worst thing in the world, I'm giving them a 1-star review and all this stuff, right? When in reality, if they just manage your expectations, you wouldn't have been pissed off. So this is the same thing. If you don't manage the expectations the right way, when a client signs on with you, they're going to be expecting for you to respond to them 24/7. They're going to be expecting to make 100 grand in their first month, right? And all these crazy things. So you need to manage people's expectations, because then you can avoid a lot of issues and you're not going to lose any clients. First things first is using a Google Drive. So within our Google Drive folder, we have 3 things. The model information sheet, which is basically where we ask the client a bunch of series of questions about them, which we then forward to our chatting team. Because again, think about it. Whenever you sign on a client, the chatters are going to be the ones sending messages on behalf of your client, okay? So the chatters need to know everything that they need to know about the client, such as their favorite color, what's their favorite food, so on and so on and so on. Because if the fan is asking the question and the model says on Instagram that her dog's name is Rocky, and then on OnlyFans, the fan goes, "Oh, how's Rocky?" And if the fan doesn't know that your OnlyFans creator has a dog called Rocky, and they go, "Who's Rocky?" all of a sudden the whole thing is ruined, the fan unsubscribes, and you've lost out on money, right? Also, by the way, just a little side note, because some people think this is a controversial take, it is absolutely not. OnlyFans specifically themselves in terms and services has acknowledged that every creator on their account potentially might be using a third party to help them manage the messages and the communication between the fans and them, which basically means that having chatters on OnlyFans isn't some crazy, weird, illegal hack. Like, OnlyFans themselves has acknowledged that it is in their terms of services. So if you wanted to read it, it is in there. Anyway, just a little side note, because some people think, well, isn't that kind of controversial? The fans think that they're talking to the model, etc. Up to you. At the end of the day, there's so much money to be made. And again, the fan signs up agreeing to the terms and services. So that's all in order for that. Okay, cool. Next thing is the logins. Very straightforward. We obviously need the logins for Instagram, OnlyFans, Twitter, Reddit, whatever platforms you'll be managing. And then last but not least is the scripts. So again, scripts is something that we give in our licensing program. Super, super important. This is pre-made content where the creator pre-makes content that we can sell. I'll talk about that in the next section, which is going to be the chatting. All right. So next part, this is a two-way street, right? So when it comes to managing expectations, there's a two-way street. You need to make it very clear. The client needs to put in 50% of the work because you're doing 50% of the work, right? That's why you're taking 50%. You can't be doing 110% of the work and the client does literally nothing, okay? They have to create content because less content that they create, the less money, and they need to be paying invoices on time. Always talk about how you will communicate, etc. This is a big one. A lot of people, especially as beginners, they will make the mistake of saying, "Oh, you can message me whenever. I'm available 24/7, and you can message me on whatever platform, etc." Well, if you say that, you just set your expectations for the client to message you whenever on whichever platform at any point of the day. So if you are, let's just say, in Europe and your client is in America or vice versa, and it is 3 a.m. for you on a Saturday and he or she messages you, they're going to expect a response because you said they can message you at any point. So we don't do that. We make it very clear, Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. my local time. That's when you can get a response. Now, sure, I'm always on my phone anyway, so probably there's a chance that you'll get a response on Saturday and a Sunday, especially if it's urgent and you call me and it's something super, super urgent. But to manage your expectations, Monday to Friday, this time to this time, and only on our WhatsApp group chat. Do not DM me, do not call me, do not email me, and so on. Not because I don't want to talk to you, it's because we have an entire team that are going to respond to you on the group chat. Because if you DM me, my team doesn't see that message. Right, so we manage all of these expectations, and it is absolutely paramount that you do that because, again, if you don't do it, then the client doesn't know any better, and they will message you at random places and random times, and if you don't respond, they're going to be very upset, and you're going to lose a client. So again, little things like this. When you're starting out, you might not know these things, and it's completely fine. And this is why we have our licensing program, where we typically take on around 10 people at a time. We hold your hand, we help you get started from completely zero. You can be from any walks of life. The only requirement is that you're 18 and over, and we simply get you set up. We help you get clients on board. We help you get a chatting team on board. We help you understand how marketing works, and then you can off you go, and then you can do OFM by yourself, right? But anyway, again, licensing program, we can mention that at the end. Cool. So you get the contract signed as well, and that's essentially the onboarding process, right? Again, through PandaDoc, and again, this is the contract that we actually give within our licensing program. Okay, cool, guys. Now, when it comes to onboarding, super simple. That's exactly what our student Juan had done. We helped him implement the seamless onboarding process, and he was able to sign more clients that he knows what to do with. And he actually narrowed it down. He went from a couple, I think it was close to 10 clients, and he narrowed it down to just the top 5 because they were making the most amount of money. And boom, in this 1 month, he was able to generate $34,500, which is pretty cool. So shout out to Juan. Anyway, that being said, let's talk about marketing. Now, this is a big one. I have a lot to cover on marketing, so make sure you get your pen and paper out and you're paying attention. And again, if you still haven't liked this video, I'm going to ask you politely, please, if you could like the video. Honestly, it makes a massive difference. What I'm about to go through here is going to be an absolute game changer for you guys. All right. So all of these social media platforms, what do they care about? All they care about is keeping you on the platform as long as possible. That's all they care about, right? They don't care about how many times you post. They don't care about where you're from. They don't care about what you click on, how many times you click on. All they care about is you stuck on that phone scrolling, right? That's all they care about. Why, you might be wondering? Well, the longer you sit there and you scroll, the more ads you're going to see, right? Which means there's a higher chance of you buying something and they make a little bit of money. But really, people who run businesses, they pay these platforms to run these ads, and that's how these platforms make money. You are the thing that they sell, right? That's why Instagram is free. TikTok is free. There's no subscription to use these platforms. But in reality, what these platforms are selling is your attention and your data, right? It's just how life works. Love it or hate it. I'd rather you become, instead of a consumer, it's actually you actually leveraging these things and making money with it. Hence is why you're probably watching this video, right? So your goal is to help your client make content that will reach the right audience, generate lots of engagement. And the best way to do this is consistently, to do this consistently is to find a niche for your client and create content around that. So what is a niche? Niche is essentially like a niche of subject, right? So like poker is a niche, YouTube automation is a niche, biking is a niche, golfing is a niche, fishing is a niche, and so on. Just like what is something like a group of people watch this specific subject or a topic, etc., right? So let me go into some quick notes about social media, and then I'm going to go over like really explaining and showing to you guys how and why a niche really works in OnlyFans management. So first things first is consistency beats everything. The more you post, the higher the chances you have to go viral. And in most cases, a lot of you guys will be signing on clients where they are only posting 3 times a week. So if you come on board and you simply help this creator go from 3 times a week to 7 times a week, so once a day, all of a sudden you have more than doubled their business. Let me just say that again. Most of the clients that you sign on, they're going to be doing an average of about 3 reels a day, 3 reels a week, 3 TikToks a week, roughly. If you come on board and you just help them stay consistent and you do 1 a day now, which is 7 a week, you have more than doubled their business by just helping them stay consistent. It is honestly that simple. So even you as a beginner who doesn't know how to go viral, etc., that's how simple that can be, right? Okay, next. We have developed a unique and extremely profitable social media strategy that gives us results like this. 58.8 million views, 1.3 million views, 1.2 million views consistently, right? And what we have found is short form viral content wins every time. The old way of dating apps and so on is completely dead, and there's a new way to do it. So let me show you guys and explain to you guys how and why social media marketing works and what is really a niche, right? Because most of you guys, what you're doing is you're getting your clients to create these little silly TikTok dances and hoping that the girl randomly goes viral, right? So this is what the platform has to do. So if the model just does a little TikTok dance and that's it, she's just wearing normal clothes and she's a normal average looking girl and she just does a little dance. Well, social media is kind of like this, right? Like this is social media, and in here there are groups of people that enjoy different types of things. This group of people enjoys gaming videos. This group of people enjoys golfing type of videos, and so on and so on and so on. So you watching this at home right now, if you go on your Instagram For You page, like the feed, you're going to notice whatever you're interested in. If it's cars, it's a bunch of cars. If it's watches, it's a bunch of watches. If it's a bunch of hot chicks, there's going to be a bunch of hot chicks. You get what I mean, right? And if the video, there is no specific subject, there's no specific niche. It's just a random girl doing a little dance. Well, Instagram is going to have to be like, well, let's show it to a bunch of car people. No, they're not engaging. Okay, well, what if we show it to a bunch of people who enjoy cosplay? No, they're not really enjoying it. Well, what about people who enjoy motorbikes? Nah, they're not really engaging. And then all of a sudden it's trying to show it to these bunch of people, and it's just no one's really engaging. It's like, oh, fuck it. It's probably not a good piece of content, and they move on, right? In very simple terms. Now, instead, if you find a niche for your model, that will make the social media's job a lot easier to find the target audience. So for example, let's just, again, super random example, but let's just say you choose fishing. So let's just say your client actually enjoys fishing. She does it all the time as a hobby, whatever. Well, social media has a lot easier job because it doesn't have to choose, okay, let's try this one. Let's try this one. No. It knows exactly, okay, there's a fish in a video, in the caption of the YouTube, in the caption of the reel or the TikTok, it says something about fishing, hashtag fishing, whatever. It's going to show it to this audience. And because these people already enjoy this type of content and it's a hot chick, the video goes mega viral. All these fishing guys are sharing it to their boys, like, oh, look at this hot chick, she caught this fish, whatever. And all of a sudden, what happens? Retention. Remember what these social media platforms care about. They care about retention. If the video is watched for longer and longer and longer, and therefore this platform thinks, okay, people are really engaging with this, let me show it to more people. And then it just becomes this fucking snowball effect that you get more and more and more and more views. And you can simply replicate this over and over and over. And this is the method of the madness that we have figured out. Again, in a licensing program, we literally show you exactly how to implement this. We don't hold back. So again, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. And yeah, not only that, also, on top of that, doing paid promo on pages will also become cheaper. So you can find pages like this and you can do promo on there. And also, if your client genuinely enjoys, like as this example, there's like fishing and she does it as a hobby anyway, well, she will just create content while she's doing something that she loves anyway. It doesn't feel like work. So you get more content, it's way better, it's niched, it goes viral more consistently, and everybody wins, okay? So that's something that we can teach you guys in the licensing program. One of many, many, many things. Okay, cool. Now, last but not least, most importantly, is chatting. Now, this is where the vast majority of the money is actually going to be generated. So again, if we go back to our initial example right here, you guys can see, right here. So subscriptions, and this is how the actual income is segregated on OnlyFans. So you have the subscriptions, tips, posts, messages, and referrals. Now, the three main ones where the majority of the money is going to be made is subscriptions, which is obviously where the fans simply come onto the platform and they pay a monthly subscription, which you set. It can be $5, $10, $15, $25, you choose, okay? This is where the client is going to be paying monthly, and this is the amazing thing about this as well. In this business model, unlike anything else, there is monthly recurring revenue. So once you get a fan on board, one of your jobs is, simply to retain that client. And it's pretty easy because, let's be honest, this whole side of thing is addictive based, right? People are addicted to this content, so they come back for more. And it's literally free money consistently coming every single month. The next income stream is going to be tips. So it can be a million different ways or reasons why somebody might tip. Maybe your client has a new outfit that she wants to purchase, but it's $200. And she posts a picture of this outfit on her wall and says, hey, any of my fans would like to tip money so I can actually afford this dress or this underwear, whatever. And for every single person that actually tips, I will, when I buy this thing, I will send you a picture of me in it or an exclusive video of me in it, whatever. That's one way. Another way is if you have like what I call like mega fans, just these people who are super crazy about this creator. And for example, if she says like, oh, I'm going to get my nails done, or I'm going to get my hair done, guys might just tip $100, $200 just for her to get the nails done, right? Which is absolutely wild, by the way. Like, yeah, don't need to do anything. The last one, which is the vast majority of the income, is in messages, okay? So in messages, this is obviously the main reason of OnlyFans and how and why people actually come onto the platform and they spend money. Is because on things like Instagram, you're limited to what kind of content you can post and can't post, okay? Whereas on OnlyFans, pretty much everything goes. There is only a few things that are restricted, of course, but as far as like adult content, pretty much most of it goes. And within the messages, that's where the fans can see explicit content of that said creator, where they can get custom content or they can get exclusive content they can't see elsewhere, and so on. And this is where the majority of the money comes from. So as you can see with this one creator that we're showing you here, she has made $155,000 in just through subscriptions, which you might think, wow, that's pretty cool. But then if you look at the messages, you know, we have made her over, nearly $500,000 in just the messages alone. And you might be wondering, well, that's insane. How and why? Like, how is there so much more money being made in the messages? Plus also the tips, whether this is typically done in the DMs as well. Not always, it can be on the wall post, but typically this is in the DMs as well. And again, by the way, imagine this is your client and you take 50% of that. So if you were just to be managing this one client, you know, made $250,000, which is pretty cool. Anyway, so when it comes to messages, let me kind of walk you guys through this, all right? So 80% of the income comes from chatting and the messages. So the focus is to build relationships with fans that can turn them into high spenders. So this is where most people fuck up on as well. Whenever a new fan comes in through the door, a lot of people just think, oh my God, let me just try and sell him some pictures and videos straight away. Just some random shit from a year ago. That doesn't really work that well. The whole idea of OnlyFans is to kind of create this online intimacy and to kind of create this atmosphere where the creator is there in real time creating content just for them. That's the whole reason why they're paying, okay? So let me go through a couple of lessons within that. So first of all, we do recommend that you do the chatting yourself for about 2 weeks. You don't have to, but I do recommend it. Reason being is because you want to learn what the fans respond to, which upsells work best, how to build relationships. You need to understand the psychology before hiring others. Because, I mean, think of it this way, right? It's like the equivalent of, I don't know, running a restaurant. If you don't know anything about food at all, granted, you don't have to be a Michelin star restaurant, but if you don't know anything about food whatsoever, it's going to be very damn difficult to build a successful, profitable restaurant when you're hiring chefs that you don't even know if they're doing a good job or not, right? So it's the same thing. You need to know how this works yourself first, and then once you know you've got some experience, you can then hire people and train them up yourself as well. The next one, step 2 is to hire chatters, and literally in just 2 weeks, you're then able to hire people, like I said, from places like South Africa, South America, in the Philippines, and so on. Now, for us personally, the vast majority of our team is from SA, from South Africa, mainly because English is their first language. Time zone-wise, I'm pretty close to South Africa, time zone-wise, but more importantly, culturally, we're very similar. So South African people, they do watch a lot of YouTube. They listen to similar music as me and you. They watch pretty much the same YouTubers. They watch the same TikToks and so on. Now, why is that important? Well, the clients that you're going to be working with on average are probably going to be similar age as me and you, maybe in the early/mid 20s. So the whole pop culture, you need to be up to date to the slang that we're using. And typically in places like Southeast Asia, like Philippines, they really don't use slang like we do. And think of it this way, right? In Philippines, English is not their first language, okay? So imagine you yourself. Can you speak any other language? Let's just say you can just about speak French, or you can just about speak Portuguese or Spanish, or it doesn't matter. Let's just say you can just about speak another language. Now imagine having to try and flirt in that language to a local person. Like, your point would probably come across, but it would just sound so fucking weird. Like, the riz would be off, put it this way. That's the equivalent of trying to hire somebody from Southeast Asia to do the flirting on behalf of your English-speaking client. It doesn't really work that well. So for us, South Africa is an absolute winner. And again, within our licensing program, by the way, we also do show you guys how to find these chatters, but not only that, we can also help you plug and play these chatters. We have a plethora of candidates. We have people applying to work with us every single day, both models and chatters every single day. Just because of my YouTube, I've been doing this content stuff for quite some time, and I can't work with everybody. So for those people that I don't get to work with, we simply partner them with you guys. So if you did want to be a part of our licensing program, by the way, don't leave yet on the video, I got much more to mention here. You can go ahead and message me on Instagram at Markuss Hussle. Again, you can message me the word YouTube, and I'll know that, okay, you came from this YouTube video and you're interested in our licensing program, okay? But anyway, so you can find people from South Africa, etc., and you simply want to train them yourself, okay? And then next one is, and this is the big one. Now, this is where most people are confused about, and they actually didn't even know what this is and how it works. Step 3 is to use actually scripts. So what are scripts and how does it work? Okay, use and build chat scripts. So scripts are pre-made content flows that your client has already made ahead of time, where each photo and video leads on from the previous one to make it seem like it's created in real time, okay? So think of it this way. The average OF agency owner, or the average even OF creator, when a fan comes in, they might do a bit of messaging back and forth, and the guy says like, I want this picture or this video of this, blah, blah. And they'll just find a random fucking photo or video from a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, or even a couple of years ago, and they'll just send it. And then he'll buy it, and then that's it. That's it. He'll buy it for $20, $50, and then that's it. Moves on. Whereas instead, this is what we do. So instead, you speak to them back and forth, you start the conversation, blah, 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 and then you send a free photo, right? And by the way, the client, your client, the OF creator, he or she has pre-made these photos and videos, which I'm about to say that we're gonna send out, right? Now, the first one is maybe a photo, and it's a free photo of the creator in bed, just chilling, fully clothed, right? Not showing anything too sexual. That's the first one for free. And then the guy's like, oh, wow, you look really great, blah, 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 blah. Can I see some more, right? They're typically gonna ask. And you say, yeah. And then boom, you send the first video, maybe 15, 20 seconds, and it's got a price tag on it for just $20, $15, $20, nothing too much. He's like, okay, fine, $15, whatever, buys. And then he's interested. And now he says, oh, can I see some more? And you speak a little bit more, you send some more free photos and free little bit of content in between, nothing too much. It's the same similar content as last time. And then you send another pay-per-view, which is, again, another piece of content that is locked, but now it's $50. Okay, he buys it, whatever. And now he's really engaged. Now he's really interested. He wants to see some more content. And you keep doing this over and over, and the price goes from $15 to $50, then to $100, then to $150, then to $200. And before you know it, the person has spent maybe $300, $400, and he's like, oh my God, I've seen so much content. He comes back tomorrow, and he keeps doing this, right? Obviously, there's a limit. They don't come back all the fucking time because, I mean, not everybody's an absolute millionaire just spending money on OnlyFans. But the point being is that this happens fairly frequently with a lot of clients, all night, every night, right? So this is exactly one of the easiest ways on how you can actually generate millions online with OnlyFans management. And that's exactly, again, if we go back to this screenshot right here, where I was showing you guys the earnings, this is why, in subscriptions, yeah, $155,000, but in messages, $442,000. And that's why there's such a big discrepancy, because imagine if you have a couple of clients, let's just say you have 5 clients, each client has maybe 200-300 fans on there wanting to talk to you, right? Obviously you have a team at this point who are responding to all the messages because it's impossible for you to do it yourself. But imagine you now have around 3,000-4,000 people to speak to every single night across all of your clients' accounts. And well, this person pays $50, this person pays $100, this person pays $200, this person pays another $200, and this is in a couple of minutes, by the way. And once you really get into the hang of things, there's literally dollars being thrown at you. Your client is super happy because, well, he or she is saving loads of time. They do less work. They're making way more money. The content is a lot easier. They're going more viral than ever before because thanks to our niche content ideation, you understand how to go viral now. You simply just manage your team who do the messages, and when you're asleep and your client is asleep, you have somebody on pretty much the other side of the world doing the messages. Eventually you hire somebody to manage that person, right? So you have free chatters, They do 8 hours each, 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. They each rotate. So this person finishes their 8-hour shift, then this person logs on, finishes, then this person logs on, and so on. And then eventually you hire somebody who manages all, and so on and so on. Again, I don't want to start to kind of overcomplicate things and show you a little bit more about our licensing program, but that's exactly what we teach on that, right? And yeah, to show you some of our results, I mean, look, this is Willie. This is back in 2023, so this is how long I've been doing this licensing stuff for. He's 18, and he's made a total of $20,000 in that month. And he's got 5 clients, and this is him with his OnlyFans screen open right here. And this is another one of our students. This is Volt. This is Lucas, who's one of our head coaches here at FameU. He just said, hey, just wanted to see everyone, what's your biggest purchase that you made since starting OFM? And this is Volt. He purchased a McLaren 570S, which is pretty cool. And there's so many results. You know, look, life isn't always about, you know, what car you've got or what watch you've got, but more importantly, the freedom that it allows you to do. I remember for me personally, when I was just starting out, I really couldn't even go out and do the things that I wanted, let alone to be able to retire my mom, be in good health even. I couldn't go to the nice gyms, and I couldn't eat good healthy food. My budget was maybe $30 a week on weekly shopping because I had to stay at home, cook, etc. And, you know, I always knew that in life, you have to be able to achieve more. You have to be able to live life on your own terms. So if you're watching this video all the way still to this point right here, that means you're obviously very, very interested. And potentially, if you're 18 and over, I'd like to potentially invite you to our licensing program. And again, how it works is we look for a select few group of people, around 10 at a time, where I take you under my wing and I literally license you my structure, my systems, my marketing, my chatting, my everything that we do at our own agency. I share my screen and I show you everything in real time. If that is something that you'd be interested in, again, I do recommend you messaging me on Instagram at Markuss Hussle, the word YouTube, so know that you came from this, and therefore I know that you could potentially be a good fit. And lastly, please leave a like on this video. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.